Hello, friends. We are a retired couple living in a small town in the heart of Russia. For many years now, we've been building our own home step by step with our own hands. It is still a work in progress, but it already feels like the place we always dreamed of. Life here is simple but full. We have 2 dogs, chickens, a garden, and many daily chores that keep us busy. In this blog, we want to share with you a little piece of our everyday life, how we live, what we eat, how we take care of our home and animals, and what it means to grow older while staying active and curious. Sometimes we will show our garden, sometimes our travels, sometimes just quiet evenings with tea and family memories. And today, we'll start with something very ordinary, but important for everyone, a walk to our local grocery store. Let's see what you can find on the shelves in a small Russian town. While you are looking around our local store, I want to share a little about my life. I finished school back in the days when there were only 10 grades. I tried to enter the pedagogical institute, but I wasn't well prepared and failed the competition for the literature department. My mother got sick at that time, so I started working at the hospital ward where she was treated. First, as a nurse's aide. A year later, I tried to enter medical university, but again, I didn't have enough knowledge. I decided not to waste time and applied to a medical college where I studied for 2.5 years and became a midwife and paramedic. At the college, I was very active in social work. I was even elected head of the student union. This gave me a lot of experience that helped later in life. After graduation, I was assigned to work at the medical unit of an oil refinery. I worked there for almost 9 years, gained valuable medical experience, and, of course, it helped in family life and raising children. We have 2 kids, a daughter and a son. This was all during Soviet times, when the USSR still existed. I also took part in social work in the Komsomol Youth Organization and later became the head of the trade union committee. While working at the medical unit, I also studied part-time for 5 years at the Pedagogical Institute free of charge and received a degree as a biology teacher. Later, I worked at school as a biology teacher. I met my husband when we were both 33. We decided to build a life together, a home and a family. My husband is a creative and versatile person. He easily learns different professions. Since childhood, he lived in a small one-story wooden house, but he always dreamed of a bigger, more beautiful home with many windows. Step by step, he has been building it with his own hands. Life in a private house always means a lot of work. You need skilled hands to saw, hammer, drill, fix plumbing, paint, build, or repair. My husband always did this in his free time, and somehow we still found time for rest and for our children. I was responsible for cooking, shopping, and helping with the children while also working at school. Nowadays, stores have everything. Still, in summer, we grow a lot in our garden, vegetables, fruits, and eggs from our own chickens. We know it's organic, without chemicals. From the store, we usually buy milk, cheese, bread, sweets, fish, and meat. It's a typical Russian grocery store. This is a very ordinary store in our town, the kind of place where most families do their everyday shopping. For us, it is convenient because it is only about a 15-minute walk from home, and usually we go there 2 or 3 times a week. Russian stores look a little different from what you might see in Europe or America. Most of them are smaller, but even in a small store, you can find everything you need for daily life. The first thing you always notice is the bread section. Bread is a very important product in Russia. There are dozens of types: white bread, rye bread, dark Borodinsky bread with coriander seeds, and many kinds of small rolls or pies. Bread is baked fresh every day, and most people buy it regularly. It is still inexpensive compared to many other foods. Next comes the dairy section. Russians love dairy products: milk, kefir, sour cream, cottage cheese. Kefir, for example, is a fermented milk drink that almost every person here grew up with. Sour cream is added to soups, salads, even to pancakes. Cottage cheese is popular both with children and with older people because it is healthy and rich in protein. There is also a big selection of cheeses, though imported cheese can be expensive, so many local producers make their own varieties. Of course, meat and fish are very important too. In a typical store, you will find chicken, pork, and beef. Russians also eat a lot of sausages, ham, and smoked meats. Fish is usually frozen, but in bigger supermarkets, you can find fresh fish and sometimes even live fish in tanks. Herring is especially traditional, often eaten salted with potatoes or onions. Vegetables and fruits depend a lot on the season. In summer, Russian stores are full of fresh cucumbers, tomatoes, cabbage, carrots, and beets. Many of these are also grown in people's gardens, so sometimes the store is not even needed for that. In winter, vegetables often come from greenhouses or are imported, so the prices are higher. Apples are the most common fruit, along with bananas, which are shipped in year-round. Berries like strawberries, raspberries, or currants are usually from local gardens, so in the store you may see them only in summer or frozen in winter. Another interesting part of Russian stores is the section with pickled products. Pickled cucumbers, sauerkraut, marinated mushrooms, these are traditional foods that people love, especially in winter. Many families still prepare their own jars of pickles at home, but the store always offers plenty of ready options. Sweet products also take a big space. Russians love chocolates, candies, cookies, and cakes. There are whole counters filled with different kinds of candies that you can buy by weight. Children are always happy to come here, and even adults often take a small bag of sweets with their shopping. One more difference from some other countries is alcohol. In Russian stores, you will always find vodka, beer, and wine. Vodka is still considered a national drink, but not everyone buys it. Beer has become more popular in recent years, and Russian beer is quite good. Wine is often from southern regions like Crimea or Krasnodar. When you walk around a Russian store, you will also notice how products are labeled. On the package, there is always information about the composition, the nutritional value, and the expiration date. People here pay attention to that, especially to see whether food contains preservatives or palm oil. Some products are very natural, but others are more industrial, so you need to look carefully. Shopping in Russia is not only about food. Many grocery stores also sell household items, detergents, shampoo, pet food, and even small clothing items. For people, it is convenient to buy everything in one place. Prices are a different story. Some products are cheap, like bread or potatoes, but meat, fish, and cheese can be expensive compared to the pension we receive. I'm going to make a detailed video about our pensions and what it is enough for. So if you're interested in learning more about us, you can subscribe. That is why many families like ours try to grow vegetables in their own garden and to make home preparations for winter. So this is how a simple Russian grocery store looks. For us, it is an ordinary place, but maybe for you it seems unusual or interesting. In our next video, we will continue to show you not only what we buy, but also how we cook these products at home and how they fit into our everyday life. But enough about the shops. We went for a walk with the dogs, and I will continue to talk about our lives. By the way, if you have ideas about what to tell in the next video, I propose to write in the comments. I read all the comments, thanks for them, and trying to find interesting themes for the story. I think you have already seen a lot of videos about Moscow if you are interested in Russia, but probably not so many videos about ordinary provincial cities. This is two big differences. We live completely different lives. In Moscow, it is more beautiful and comfortable, but we have rest for the soul and body, less noise and tastier products. In return, we get more modest improvement because the budget of Moscow and our region differs several times, also applies to income and pensions. Moscow pension is 2 to 3 times higher, but we try not to complain, but to enjoy what we have. Our pensions are enough for living, especially since the children are grown and independent. They even take us on trips abroad. We have already been to Turkey, Bali, Germany, France, Austria, Italy, and the UAE. In my videos, I want to show our travels, our garden and household work, our walks in the forest with the dogs, and mushroom picking because this is our real life. We love it, even if our children are not so interested in gardening yet. They have different interests. Our children say, "Why grow anything if everything is in the store, from potatoes to exotic fruits?" But when we bring them fresh strawberries or raspberries, they are always happy. And they often joke with us, "Instead of planting, you should put up a swimming pool, swings, and just relax." Every evening, each of us takes a dog and we go for a walk, about 2 kilometers. It is good for us, we need to move more, and for the dogs, because they are young and full of energy. In the morning, we usually walk in the forest area, and in the evening, we walk through the streets and park. The dogs need to learn how to behave with people and other dogs. Our dogs don't like small dogs because they bark too much and it irritates them. We walk together but not side by side, each at our own pace. The mood is always good. At the stadium, Bertha loves to play with the ball. She runs, catches it, brings it back, and gives it. Varia doesn't want to play with the ball. She prefers to chew sticks or just lie in the grass. The next morning, we go walking early again. The street is still quiet. Everyone is asleep. Our street is like a village. Every house looks different, each according to the owner's taste. Some mow the grass, some repair cars, others decorate with flowers or build new houses, bringing sand and gravel. We walk in any weather, changing the route sometimes, but always with the dogs. After 5 years, they're used to it and never run far. Sometimes we meet familiar people, like our neighbor who does Nordic walking. We just go at our own pace. Sometimes we even find mushrooms, though now, after a week without rain, they are all wormy.
We take a long path home, so the way back is not short. On the way, we see people rushing to the bus stop. Buses come every 10-15 minutes. It is convenient.
In the mornings, it is nice to walk past the stadium. There is no fence. Anyone can come, play football, or in winter, skate on the ice rink. Children's slides are very popular in winter. In summer, kids just run around. In the evenings, we pass here too, and Bertha always plays with the ball.
Cars hurry to work. Across the road are grocery stores and also shops for plumbing and car parts. We see buses taking people to work and even a janitor sweeping the street, keeping everything clean.
And now, lunch. What do Russian pensioners eat for lunch? Always soup today. It is borscht. Then cutlets with pasta. After that, tea with sweets. And of course, berries, raspberries, white currants, and gooseberries grow well in our garden. After lunch, my husband works again. He is rebuilding the stove in our bathhouse. It burns out after a few years, so he has to redo it. He is used to doing everything himself. Sometimes he takes a rest and shares berries of black chokeberry with the dog. Yes, even she eats them. After lunch, I usually go to the garden again. There is always something to do: water the plants, weed the beds, pick berries or herbs. In summer, the work never ends, but I enjoy it. Fresh air, sun, and the smell of grass, it makes me happy. Sometimes I even think this is better than any fitness club because I am moving all day, bending, lifting, carrying water. Our dogs follow us everywhere. They lie in the shade when it's hot or run around the garden. Sometimes they steal cucumbers or apples, not because they are hungry, but just curious. I don't scold them much. They are part of the family. In the evening, I often prepare food for the next day. We like simple dishes: baked potatoes, fried fish, or chicken with vegetables. In Russia, people still love homemade food.
Even if everything is sold in stores, most prefer to cook at home because it's cheaper and tastes better.
My husband usually spends evenings with some project. If it's not the bathhouse, then it is something in the house, fixing a door, painting the fence, or cutting firewood. He can't sit without work. I sometimes tell him, just rest. But for him, work is also a kind of rest. Later in the evening, we sit with tea and watch TV, usually news or old movies. Sometimes we call our children. They live in Moscow and have a different life, always busy, always running somewhere. We are calmer here in our small town. When the sun sets, we take the dogs for another short walk. The air becomes cooler, the streets are quiet, and people greet each other. In Russia, neighbors often know each other well, especially in smaller towns. It feels safe, and this is important. Finally, before sleep, I think about the next day. Maybe tomorrow I will pick more berries or start making jam. Maybe my husband will finish the stove. Life here is simple but full. Every day has its own rhythm and meaning. In autumn, there is always plenty of work to do. When the berries are finished, it's time for vegetables. Harvesting potatoes is a whole event for us. First, we dig them out, then sort them. The big ones go into the cellar. The smaller ones we cook right away. We have our own cellar under the house. It's cool there, and the vegetables stay fresh all winter. Carrots, beets, onions, all stored neatly in wooden boxes. When you open the cellar door, you can smell the earth and freshness. Of course, we also do food preservation. We make jam from raspberries and currants, prepare compotes, pickle cucumbers, and ferment cabbage. This is a tradition in Russia to prepare for the winter. You can buy everything in the store, but homemade food tastes better and is much cheaper. Most importantly, we know it was grown by our own hands, without chemicals. Sometimes our neighbors drop by. In a small town, it's normal to help each other. Someone might bring us a bucket of apples or ask to borrow a tool. We also share. My husband gives advice about building, and I might give seedlings or a jar of jam. It feels good because you know you are part of a community. When the weather gets colder, life changes a little. We start heating the sauna more often. It's a special ritual to go in the evening, steam well, and then step outside into the cool night air. After the sauna, tea tastes especially good, and sleep is deep. In winter, we walk less, but the dogs still need their walks. The snow is deep, and sometimes we have to clear paths. But there is also joy in it. Fresh air, quiet beauty all around. Each day is filled with small tasks, taking care of the house, the animals, and each other. And that is what gives life meaning.